Hello to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5am Club. It's Saturday afternoon. I've just finished work, caught the bus home, and I'm now at the bus stop here on the M2 and about to walk home. It's about a 10-15 minute walk. So what I'll do is I'll do a walk and talk and go through a book summary just to make sure that I get through a second book summary for today, because I do have a target. I've got a target of 4 book summaries a day. I need to deliver just over 3 in order to reach my goal of 1,000 by 27th of May, which is my 61st birthday, God willing. So I need to work hard and need to get productive and to pump out as many as I can, as often as I can, so that I can materialise that goal that I've set for myself, which I think is a worthy goal. I'm going to be the first person I know to have been able to generate 1,000 vlogs and to reach the 1,000 club. Anyway, what are we going to talk about today? I've picked a book entitled Storyworthy. Storyworthy by Matthew Dix. What a name, Matt Dix. So what he's going to do is he's going to tell us a little bit about the science and the techniques of effective storytelling, because I think we're all starting to learn that if you want to be popular, if you want to be influential, if you want to be somebody who can be interesting to be with, then you're going to have to learn how to be a good and effective storyteller. Just all caught up here, so I'll just free them up. So where do we go from here? So the author kicks off the book with a quote, and the quote that he talks about is don't get hung up on big moments, because the unbelievable circumstances or hilarious details are in the small moments. Seek out the moments where you felt your heart move. So a very, very powerful point, that in our lives we have a lot of boring bits, a lot of bits which are big, which are average, which are small, but it's the moments which make your heart move, which are the ones which are the most important ones. Just an aside here, I always notice this bush here, this tree, this purple coloured tree always comes out that time of year, where my father passed away, which is on the 15th of March, which is on Monday, and it's also the day that my youngest daughter celebrates her birthday. So an interesting day. But as I said, that beautiful bush always reminds me of a time of year where I remember my father, and also my grandmother, Yasyane, also died around about this time of year, and I get to recall and to remember that moment through the beauties of nature. So what more can we learn about storytelling? So in terms of the science of storytelling, the author's key structured point to come out of the book is that we need to share stories. It's important to learn the art of storytelling, and one of the key techniques, or one of the important factors that we need to incorporate, is that we need to share stories where the person telling the story is the protagonist, and make sure that you include a transformation. So what the author is saying is that there's no use telling stories about other people, because when you're saying stories about other people or other situations, that's more gossip than anything else. What people really want and what is really, really effective is where you tell a story about yourself. Say you're the protagonist, you're the person, the subject in the story that you're sharing, and that in your story you need a transformation. So what is a transformation? A transformation is basically a twist. Many times and often in a number of the dramas, a number of the theatres that we go to, or the movies that we watch, there's always a lovely twist in that, and that twist can be seen as being a bit of a transformation. So if you want to know the recipe for telling wonderful, captivating stories, make sure that it's a story which is about yourself, where you're the subject, and that it includes a transformation, a heart-moving transformation, which can get somebody to think about it and to feel it and to relate to it and to basically enjoy it. So the author is saying here basically, don't just share events, because events can be boring if you're just sharing an event. What you need to do is talk about something which includes you, and there is a change to someone or something or an experience. So it's important here to include a transformation, a change in the story, so that people can learn from it, people can gain something from it. Because without a transformation, the story is just an anecdote. It doesn't mean anything. You know, at the end of the day, if you're communicating with people, what you want to do is you want to make sure that the communication that you're having with them is going to change their life and change the way they see things in a better way or a dramatic way. Because without a transformation, you leave no impression. People want to hear about your experiences that include our vulnerability, include us being tested and being vulnerable. Because by hearing about our vulnerability, it makes people a little bit more comforted knowing that other people share the same sort of vulnerabilities. The other thing which is very important, and I guess this is probably more cultural than anything else, the author here says that you don't need to be theatrical when storytelling. But I've got to tell you, over the years, the best storytellers that we've had in our families, the Uncle Georges, the Uncle Angelos, the Uncle Angelo Kathriptaki, all of the wonderful storytellers have all been men who have been very, very theatrical and very funny, dramatic in their storytelling. My Uncle John Geekus, I could sit down and listen to him for hours on end telling stories. My Theo Vlasi Papadopoulou, the same. He just captivated the audience when he was saying a story, and you just laugh, not only when he was saying the story, but also you'd laugh at his laughing, as well as my father's good friend, Yiri Caravella. He'd say a story and then just the laughter that he would bellow out would be enough to get everybody laughing and in a good mood. So what sort of stories should we share? This is a big one. And the author says you need to use the dinner table test. Would you share it with a friend at dinner? And I guess it's always tricky these days because times have changed. People have become a lot more sensitive these days. Whilst we talk about freedom of expression and people being a lot more educated, what I find now is that there are a lot more prudish people about than what we had in times gone by. You can't say this, you can't say that, and you're basically hogtied in terms of what you can say, how you can say it, and wondering whether or not what you're saying is going to inflame the sensitivities of the people around you. So times are a lot more tougher now than what they used to be. And talking about used to be, there's a lot of bees in this tree here. So or this bush here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here with my granddaughter shortly and bring down the bug catcher and catch a bee, just so we can have some excitement and some fun. So the question is, would you share the story that you're about to share with friends at dinner? And it all depends. So it's a tricky one. I know I've got some friends or some people in the social circle who all they want to do is talk about sex, or all they want to do is just flip a topic to talk about sex. So their mind is just always thinking along that line, and their innuendo just becomes boring after a while. But I guess the question is, is that the sort of discussion you want to have with your friends, always turning it into some sort of sexual innuendo? And I guess at the dinner table, you probably wouldn't want to be talking about that, because it debases the people around you. Yeah, they're the sort of topics that you probably chat about with your mates at the pub or at the work site, but not necessarily at the dinner table. So what they're saying is that the audience doesn't want to see a performance, and they want to see something that comes from your heart. They want to hear something that comes from your heart, where they can feel it, they can smell it, they can taste that experience that you're talking about. So the third structured point to come out of this book is that you basically just need 5 seconds of the experience to be the centre of every great story, and then you add to that. You embellish it, and you talk about it, and you add a twist, making sure, of course, that you're the protagonist and that it has a wonderful twist. And the nuggets that you can talk about, the ones that capture people's imagination, and the thing that people absolutely love talking about, are things like love, loss, despair, hope, and other emotions. So if you're looking for topics to talk about, then there are a few that you may want to talk about. And people love to hear about your 5-second poignant experiences, where you crash, where you drown in despair, and a friend turns up to help you out. So the knight in shining armour sort of stories are the ones that are very, very appealing to lots and lots of people. So there you go. There's another Jim's 5am Club on a wonderful book summary entitled, let me just flip the page, entitled Storyworthy. Sorry for flipping the camera around. Storyworthy by Matthew Dix, where we talked about the science of storytelling and just learned a little bit more in terms of how we can structure a story so that it delivers a nice little message, a nice little twist where you're the protagonist, and you touch on the subjects that people love and people relate to. And that's basically it. So let's finish off with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I am well. To my friends and family, stay committed, stay connected, stay reasonable, stay relevant, and most importantly, let's make the most of each and every day, and learn some of the skills, some of the tricks from this book entitled Storyworthy, so that each and every one of us can become valuable storytellers to our children, to our grandchildren, to our partners, so that we make an impact on their lives, and we also teach them the art and science of good storytelling. So I'm just back home now. I can see my daughter Artemis's car parked out the front. My granddaughter's home, both granddaughters are home, so we're about to go in there and have some fun and hopefully talk about a story. So yes, there you go. From a place where I've been for many, many years. Yassas to all my friends, take care. If you like it from Jim's 5am Club, and until we chat again, I look forward to coming back to you from a different location with a different message, a message of empowerment, a message that will hopefully be the wind beneath our wings and teach us something new. Take care, yassas, and we'll chat again. Bye for now.